Hey friend, before you scroll away, listen to this. You might be in a season of pain, confusion, or loss, but God is still working behind the scenes. Don't click off, because by the end of this message, I promise you'll see your situation in a brand new light. And if this speaks to your heart, go ahead and like, subscribe, and let's walk this journey of faith together. We've all heard Romans 8:28, all things work together for good to those who love God. But let's be honest, when life's falling apart, that verse can sound like a cliche. You lose your job, your plans collapse, someone breaks your heart, and people say, "Don't worry, it'll all work out." But you look around and think, "Really, Lord?" Because it doesn't look good right now. But here's the truth, that verse isn't wishful thinking, it's a divine declaration. It's not saying that everything is good, but that everything works together for good. There's a big difference. The pain, the waiting, the heartbreak, God weaves them into a purpose we can't see yet. Like a master artist, he takes broken pieces, the colors of sorrow, the shades of struggle, and paints a masterpiece of redemption. It may not make sense right now, but just because you can't see the plan doesn't mean there isn't one. I want to tell you, God doesn't waste pain, not a single tear, not a single moment. If you'll stay faithful, what hurt you will one day help you. What broke you will one day build you. And you'll look back and say, "Now I see it. He was working all along." So don't give up. Don't walk away just because you don't understand the season. God's not done. He's just getting started. Romans 8:28 isn't just a comforting quote, it's a divine guarantee. It's God saying, "I can take everything the enemy meant for harm and turn it into something holy." When Paul wrote those words, he wasn't sitting in comfort. He was writing from hardship. Beaten, imprisoned, rejected, yet he said, "All things work together for good." That kind of faith doesn't come from easy days. It's born in the fire of testing. You see, we often look at our lives and think, "This doesn't add up." The pain, the delays, the closed doors, they feel pointless. But God never promised to make sense. He promised to make purpose. What looks random to you is actually orchestrated by divine timing. Like a puzzle, the single pieces don't show the full picture until the end. God's the only one who can take tragedy and turn it into testimony. Sometimes He allows what we don't understand to produce what we truly need. Maybe that job loss wasn't rejection. Maybe it was redirection. Maybe that heartbreak wasn't the end, it was protection. We pray for strength and God gives us struggles. We pray for patience and He gives us waiting seasons. Why? Because He knows growth never happens in comfort. And here's the beauty, God doesn't waste anything. Every mistake, every tear, every disappointment, He recycles it for His glory. You might feel like you're standing in the ruins, but heaven's blueprint still says, "Under construction." Your story isn't over. It's just being edited by the author of redemption. So don't judge your life by a single chapter. Don't call it over when God's just turning the page. If you'll just keep walking in faith, one day you'll look back and say, "Now I see it, He was working all along." You ever have one of those moments where you just stare at the ceiling and go, "God, what are you doing?" Yeah, I've been there too. Life throws curveballs that knock the wind out of you, and you start to wonder if Romans 8:28 skipped your address. You did everything right, you prayed, you waited, and still, things fell apart. But listen, friend, God's goodness doesn't depend on your understanding. It depends on His character. We think faith means everything has to make sense, but real faith is trusting when nothing does. It's saying, "Lord, I don't see how this works out, but I know you're working in it." See, God never promised to show us the why, He promised to walk with us through the what, and that's enough. Sometimes God's plan looks like chaos before it looks like clarity. You might feel like Joseph, betrayed, thrown in a pit, forgotten in a prison, but all the while, God was positioning him for the palace. What looked like a setback was really a setup. And maybe you're in that waiting room right now, praying, doubting, hopping all at once. Don't lose heart. Maybe you're not stuck, maybe you're being shaped. Gold has to go through fire before it shines. So hold on. Don't quit in the middle of the mess. You're in the middle of a miracle in progress. It may not make sense now, but one day you'll thank God for what didn't work out because He was protecting, preparing, and perfecting something greater. Even when you can't trace His hand, trust His heart. You know what I've learned, friend? God's not just working to fix your situation, He's working to form you through it. We want Him to change what's around us, but He's more interested in changing what's inside us. That's the heart of Romans 8:28. It's not just about good outcomes, but good becoming. It's like a seed that has to be buried before it grows. It looks dead, but underground, life is forming. You can't see it, but God's working in the dirt. And maybe right now, you're in that buried season, dark, lonely, unsure, but you're not buried, you're planted. We ask for strength and God allows storms. We pray for patience and He sends waiting. His lessons often come disguised as struggles, but every test is teaching you something about trust. And listen, sometimes the blessing isn't that the mountain moves, it's that you find peace while you're climbing it. That's spiritual maturity, when you realize the storm didn't destroy you, it developed you. When God transforms you in private, He's preparing you for something in public. So don't resent the quiet seasons, they're where roots grow deep. And when it's time, you'll bloom stronger, steadier, unshakable. Romans 8:28 isn't just about what God does for you, it's about what He does in you. And here we are, friend, at the part where everything starts to make sense. When Paul wrote Romans 8:28, he wasn't promising a life of ease. He was revealing a truth that God's purpose runs deeper than pain. It's not about everything working out our way, but about everything working out His way. You may not see it right now, but your pain is painting a masterpiece. God's been holding the brush the whole time. The heartbreak, the delay, the loss, they're all colors on the same canvas. Individually, they look messy. But when you step back, you'll see beauty where there used to be ashes. Maybe you feel forgotten, unseen. But God hasn't lost your file in heaven. His silence is His absence. He's still writing, still working, still breathing. And when the final chapter comes, you'll understand every no was making room for a better yes. So hold on to hope. Keep believing. The story isn't over, it's just unfolding. One day you'll look back and say, it was all worth it. Every tear, every wait, every unanswered prayer, it all worked together for good. Now if this message touched you, share it. Be someone's reason to hope again. Because Romans 8:28 isn't just a verse, it's a promise written by the hand of love.